Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we have a deep dive into the latest opinion polls for the 2024 United States presidential election. We've analyzed data from 40 different polls, and we'll be breaking down the trends, insights, and what these numbers could mean for the upcoming election. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all things politics. Let's get started. Our analysis covers 40 nationwide polls conducted by various reputable organizations like CBS News, Emerson College, Rasmussen Reports, and more. Each poll provides insights into the current preferences of likely voters, which is crucial as we get closer to Election Day. The sample sizes of these polls vary, generally ranging from 1,000 to over 3,000 respondents, with a margin of error that typically hovers around plus or minus 2 to 3%. Let's dive into the numbers. 1. CBS News, August 14th to 16th, 2024. This poll surveyed 3,253 likely voters with a margin of error of plus or minus 2.1%. The results showed Kamala Harris leading with 51% of the vote, while Donald Trump was close behind with 48%. Only 1% of respondents were undecided or preferred another candidate. This tight race underscores the competitive nature of this election, with Harris having a slight edge. 2. Outward Intelligence, August 11th to 15th, 2024. In this poll of 1,858 likely voters, Harris leads with 53% and Trump follows with 47%, within a margin of error of plus or minus 2.3%. This 6-point lead for Harris suggests that she might be gaining momentum, especially as there were no undecided voters in this particular poll. 3. Emerson College, August 12th to 14th, 2024. This poll, with a sample size of 1,000 likely voters and a plus or minus 3.0% margin of error, indicates Harris with 50% and Trump with 46%, leaving 4% of voters undecided or considering other options. The undecided voters here could play a crucial role in tipping the scales as the election approaches. 4. Rasmussen Reports, August 11th to 14th, 2024. Interestingly, Rasmussen's poll of 1,885 likely voters with a plus or minus 2% margin of error shows Trump ahead with 49%, against Harris's 45% with 3% undecided. This is one of the few polls where Trump is leading, highlighting the variability across different polls and the potential for swing in voter sentiment. 5. ActiveVote, August 7th to 14th, 2024. ActiveVote surveyed 1,000 likely voters and found Harris at 52% and Trump at 48%, with no undecided voters reported. This 4-point lead for Harris, coupled with the absence of undecided voters, suggests a relatively stable preference among the electorate. 6. YouGov, August 10th to 13th, 2024. YouGov's poll, which sampled 2,400 likely voters with a margin of error of plus or minus 2.5%, showed Harris leading with 50% and Trump close behind at 47%, while 3% were undecided. The fact that Harris leads by only 3 points within the margin of error indicates that the race is still very much up in the air. 7. Quinnipiac University, August 9th to 12th, 2024. This poll surveyed 1,200 likely voters with a margin of error of plus or minus 2.8%. Harris was leading at 51%, with Trump at 46% and 3% undecided. Quinnipiac's polling historically tends to favor Democrats slightly, so this result could suggest a narrow but solid lead for Harris. 8. Fox News, August 8th to 11th, 2024. Fox News conducted a poll with 1,500 likely voters, showing Trump ahead at 50% compared to Harris's 47%, with a 3% margin of error and 3% undecided. This result reflects Trump's enduring support among conservative voters, which could be crucial in battleground states. 9. Ipsos, August 7th to 10th, 2024. Ipsos, polling 2,000 likely voters with a margin of error of plus or minus 2.7%, found Harris leading with 52% against Trump's 45%, with 3% undecided. Ipsos has a reputation for more neutral polling, so this 7-point lead might indicate a significant advantage for Harris. 10. Monmouth University, August 5th to 9th, 2024. Monmouth University surveyed 1,000 likely voters and showed Harris at 49% and Trump at 47%. with a margin of error of plus or minus 3.1% and 4% undecided. The narrow margin here, combined with the relatively high percentage of undecided voters, suggests a race that could go either way. Now that we've reviewed 10 specific polls, let's talk trends. Across most polls, we see a consistently tight race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Harris appears to have a slight lead in many polls, particularly those with larger sample sizes and lower margins of error. However, the presence of undecided voters in some polls indicates that the race could still swing either way, close margins. In nearly every poll, the margin between the two candidates is within a few percentage points. This suggests that neither candidate has a decisive lead, and the final outcome may hinge on voter turnout and last-minute shifts in public opinion. Undecided voters. The percentage of undecided voters, though small, could be the key to victory. For instance, in the Emerson College poll, 4% of voters are still on the fence. If these voters break heavily for one candidate, it could determine the election's outcome. Poll variability. Rasmussen's poll showing Trump ahead contrasts with others where Harris leads. This variability could be due to differences in polling methodology, such as sample size, demographic weighting, or even the timing of the poll. Segment 4, Regional and Demographic Breakdowns. While we focused on nationwide data, it's important to note that different regions and demographic groups may have varying preferences. For instance, some polls suggest that Trump has stronger support among older voters and in rural areas, while Harris is favored among younger voters and in urban centers. These demographic splits could play a crucial role, especially in swing states where the vote is expected to be particularly close. Polls that account for regional variations or specific demographics often reveal more about where each candidate's strengths and weaknesses lie. Segment 5, the importance of voter turnout. One of the biggest takeaways from these polls is the critical importance of voter turnout. In a race this close, every vote will count. Historically, voter turnout can be unpredictable, and it often determines the final result, especially in key battleground states. For Harris, maintaining her lead means energizing her base, particularly among younger voters, minorities, and women. For Trump, it's about maximizing turnout among his core supporters, especially in states that lean Republican. Segment 6, Final Thoughts. As we approach the final stretch before Election Day, these polls will continue to be an important indicator of where the race stands. However, remember that polls are snapshots in time. They reflect voter sentiment during a specific period and can shift rapidly as new developments unfold. The data we've looked at today suggests a highly competitive election with no clear frontrunner. The key for both campaigns will be to focus on undecided voters, maintain momentum, and ensure high voter turnout. Thanks for joining us today as we broke down the latest polling data for the 2024 United States presidential election. If you found this analysis helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates as we get closer to Election Day. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the race. Who do you think will come out on top? We'd love to hear your predictions. See you next time.